Welcome. How we doing? Sam Cologne the Messenger. And today is episode 1 of our podcast. On today's podcast, what we're going to be discussing is energy management. All right. And so it's one of those topics, for me at least. I don't like using certain words because the way it's used in social media, the way it's used amongst people's conversation, the way it's used in a trendy way, right? Energy management, energy, right? And so if you're watching this podcast, then energy is a word that you would recognize. It would resonate with you. Also, energy management, that might be something that resonates with you as well. But what is energy, right? What is that? Energy is simply what you've been told energy is. But have you experienced energy yourself? Have you experienced what that is versus what you've been taught? Right? And so in this episode, I want to dive deep into what it is that you believe that you believe. And what I mean by that is, and hear me out, because there's going to be a lot of shit that I'm going to say. I'm going to try my best to keep everything PG-13, but I may drop a shit or F-bomb here and there. But there are going to be things that I'm going to say, they're going to be like, what the hell is he talking about? Right? But what do you believe that makes you believe what you believe? Right? And so that is your first step to recognizing the things that you do. Why do you do them? Why do you believe them? So let's go all the way back to when you were born, right? These things, that the language that you speak today, you didn't make a choice to speak that language. That language you inherited when you were born into the family that you were in, right? This avatar, this body, this wonderful biological machine that we wear, this beautiful thing you inherited based upon the genetics of your family and your ancestors. Right? Now, there's things that you can change once you become aware of what the mind and energy and spirit can do for your body to transform your body. But let's just call it from day one. When you come here, you come based upon your genetics. Now, due to your social scape, the religion that's in that country, that's in that city, that's in that state, that is in your family, you automatically inherit that based upon what your family is teaching you. Now, let's keep on going down that rabbit hole. Your tendencies. You know, a lot of times you're like, damn, he's just like his father. Damn, he's just like his mother. Why? Because you unconsciously pick up these tendencies. The way you talk, the way you act, the way you walk, all these things, you start to pick them up, mainly from your caretakers, from your parents. Then, if it's a religion, you take on those beliefs. Then you go to school, you take on those beliefs. Then the people and the friends that you're around, you take on those beliefs. The TV shows, the commercials, everything. You start taking on these beliefs, and you have no filtration to say, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you. You're just taking all that shit in. And it starts to create the personality and the person that you are today. And if you're unaware, you are an accumulation of those memories. Unless you take the time to actually look at, why do I believe these things? Why am I feeling this type of way because of this? You know, I'm going to give you a quick story. And again, this is going to be real life shit that I'm going to be sharing. Very transparent person. And I think that with these stories, you will evolve because they help me evolve, right? So quick story, just last night, one of my daughters came and she's asking me about getting her nose pierced, right? So she wants to get it done ASAP so that when her birthday comes around, it's healed and she can have a particular nose ring that she has an eye out for. Now, I said, ready, spontaneous, all right, baby, we'll go tomorrow. Then my other daughter, she's saying, like, oh, I'm going to go too. Then my wife chimes in, oh, I want to get this one and this one. And then my other daughter pops in. And it's like, oh, well, what about me, right? And so right away, I got very defensive. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Who the hell's going to pay for this shit? That was the first thing that came out. Now, it's not the end of the world what the price tag is going to be for if they all get 2 piercings. It's not, but automatically, that shit inside of me, boom, popped up. Whoa, wait a minute. Who going to pay for this shit? And I told my wife, like, I'm like, what, you gonna pay for this shit? And, you know, she gave me that look like, boy, you better not. But we had that, later on, we had that discussion, you know, because what we do is at nighttime, we get together, and we'll be in the bathroom, we take a shower together, we talk about our day. And so as we're in the bathroom, I said, baby, I already knew that I felt the energy from her, that I made her feel bad when I said that. So I said, babe, I'm sorry if I made you feel bad. She's like, why you did that for? And I'm like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Automatically, those unconscious belief on like being very analytical, what money is spent, how it's spent, kicked in. So it was an automatic response. And the feeling that came along with it, I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I felt it. So right away, as I responded to the situation, at the same time, I took it back. I'm like, wait a minute, this ain't right. Something's not right here. And so you will start developing those things if you take the time to say, I want to know why I tick the way I tick, and I want to take the ownership back to say, I choose to be this way. The only way you can do that if you start to recognize and take ownership for your shit. Most people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that everything that's going on in your life is based upon your decisions. It's your shit. You did it. Everything. If you can grasp that and actually like really like own that shit and to say like, all right, I'm going to give this a shot. Everything that's going on, it's because of me. Everything in my life right now to this current moment is based upon my decisions. But also give yourself grace because you were not aware of this, right? Most people don't want to take that shit because it's impossible. Like this ain't, all this don't have to do with me. It does. But here's the thing. You didn't know that all this shit, all your unconscious behavior was poured into you without your consent. And so you behave a certain way that is not your true essence. And so taking back those reins, giving yourself the grace and saying like, all right, well, I fucked up. I didn't realize that I was behaving and acting this way. But now I take ownership to say, my actions, my energy, my thoughts, my mood is what creates my reality. So now take a step back and start to analyze yourself, start to see when certain things happen, how you act, how you react. And then once you realize how you react, you can now change reacting with responding. And you can respond to things in a different way. When you start to respond to things in a different way, it's so empowering. Just like last night. I could have easily just went, if old memories would kick in and old behavior, that conversation would have went left field ASAP. Because my wife is, she's very spicy, right? And so am I. So when we get together, it's like, wow, when we allow ourselves to behave unconsciously. That's what happens. But in this case, she gave me that look like, boy, don't even try. Right away, I felt it like something's not right here. This ain't me. I processed. Later on that night, we talked about it, apologized for my actions. I apologized for how I made her feel because I felt it, that she felt like, damn, bro, like really, for real? And so after that, then I sat with myself, right? So this is, again, me. I'm sharing this transparently so that you can take whatever works for you from this and apply it to your life. And you will see how things will start to shift in your life ASAP. So what I did was, after that, I sat with myself and I played it over. I played the whole scenario over in my thoughts. Not in it, but as an observer. I took myself out, closed my eyes, replayed everything out in front of me like if I'm watching a movie. And as I was watching that movie, I felt the emotions. I felt the energy. Topic of today, energy. I felt the energy. And as I felt the energy, it brought up emotions, which were energy, which is energy in motion. And as I started to feel the emotions that came up from the scene, I dove deeper into the emotion. I didn't get caught up in the scene to, oh, what I did wrong or whatever. No, I went deeper into the feeling. And as I went deeper into the feeling, it started to bring up other thoughts, right? Because remember, as you're playing this in your mind, these are just thoughts. These are memories. And to these memories, you have energy attached to it, emotions. And so as you dive in deeper into the emotion, you'll recognize that that emotion is attached to many different memories. And as I dove deeper into that emotion, started feeling into that emotion, I saw all these different scenes of me growing up and seeing the penny pinching, poverty, whatever mindset, whatever it is that you want to call it. Also seeing myself developing as a young adult into then manhood and to then being a father and being the head of the household and seeing how certain things I still had, and I have transformed tremendously, but there was still some root thing that came up. And the thing that came up for me was like, if this was no longer a part of me, a part of my reality, a part of my spirit, part of my energy, of what it is that I'm creating, then it would not be a thought that came up into my reality, that manifested into my reality. So I've done a lot of work when it comes to abundance and prosperity and all these things that, you know, they teach you in self-development, law of attraction and all this, you know, this good stuff, right? But you have to learn how to recognize these things when they come up. And I recognized it yesterday. It came up. It came up very subtle. It could have been something just like, I could have just like, whatever, it's not a big deal. But no, I recognize that it is a big deal because it manifested in my life. And if there's anything manifesting in your life that the energy doesn't resonate with your higher being, what it is that you are portraying, what it is that you are emanating, that means it's coming up as an impurity for you to move through it. Right? And as you're moving through that energy, it starts to dissipate and it no longer has an attachment on you and you have an attachment to it. Now you step off, you look at it as an observer and you're just observing. You're observing what's happening. And as you observe, you can now take the lesson from it. There's no need for you now to embody that emotion and bring it back into your reality so it can happen again and again and again and again and again. And when you start to recognize these little patterns, these little things that you do, you realize how often you do it. And that's, honestly, that's like a tier up of what it is that I really want to share today. Because right now it's just recognizing the energy is number one. And so like managing your energy. One thing that I would say is be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Right? What do I mean by that? Take the time to be with yourself and feel what you're feeling. Feel it without thinking, oh, I think it's this. Oh, I think it's that. Oh, I think, no. Don't worry about none of that. Don't worry about letting it go. Don't worry about, what to do with it. Don't worry about none of it. Just sit with it. Sit with it. What then later on, don't ask like, what is this? If I knew, this is how you start to build a relationship with yourself. If I knew what this was that I am feeling, what would it be? If I knew what it is that I am feeling, what would it be? And what the first thing that comes to your mind, it could be fear, it could be grief, it could be anger, it could be jealousy, lust, whatever it is, sit with it. So let's say in this instance, let's just say it's fear. And you can feel, okay, fear, I can feel it, it's fear. Where do you feel it? I feel it in my chest. All right, where else do you feel it? I feel it in my stomach. Where else do I feel it in my shoulder? Okay, sit with it. Close your eyes, breathe in, and sit with it. The emotion, the energy will start to come up. Any energy that you are feeling that you're like, oh, I feel the energy up and down. I feel this and I feel that. It is energy that's not passing through. You, at your highest state, are pure, harmonized energy. Pure, harmonized light. Right? So if you're feeling like, oh, something's wonky, it's because something is wonky. Something is off. You're not going to fix that thing, whatever it is, by trying to fix that thing. You can't, because you're still stuck in the story. The way that you fix it is by pulling away from the story, being an observer, just like watching a movie. When you're watching a movie, sometimes you still feel the emotions. You get caught up in it. You're like, you feel the shame for people. You feel the hate. You feel everything. Sometimes you're ready to fight somebody just from watching a movie, right? So stepping away from even that, you're watching a movie, the emotions are processing. You use that to realize what emotions are processing. But that's not the end goal. What you want to do is now pull away even further. You're the director. You're the producer. You're the person in the background that's actually creating this thing that you call life. Being able to pull back that far that you can see that the energy that you are looking to manage is simply based upon the beliefs that you have embodied. And when you start to embody the belief that you, as a being, have a choice on what energy you want to emanate, what beliefs you want to believe, how do you choose to be, that's when you'll have the biggest impact when it comes to your energy management. So, what I would like to do is, I would like to do a little exercise with you to give you something tangible that you can implement today, right now, right? And so this podcast, again, it's going to be something that's going to be done on the fly. It's not going to be planned. It's not the things that, like today's topic, energy management. We came to the studio and it's like, hey, B, what are we going to talk about today? It's like, well, what's in my reality is this. Okay, fuck it, let's do it. Energy management. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to do an exercise. Very simple. Like the things that I'm going to want to share, that I'm going to share with you are going to be simple. It's not going to be things that are going to take you years to work through. Very simple. The thing is that you have to believe it. Believe, not in me, but in you. And as I'm sharing these things, just try it. At least this time you're trying it by choice versus all this information being put into you without your consent. Give yourself the opportunity to try these things, these techniques, and the things that I'm going to be sharing with you. So what I would like to do is I'm going to call one of our team members, the main guy that is puts the beauty together to put this podcast together in the background. By Eth. What's going on, brother?
Remember, it's an audio too, so, you know.
Yeah.
The visual and the audio both work together, you know. So you might not have to pull over. You might just have to be at your desk or wherever you at. And
that's a good point. That's a good point. And the thing is, the people that can't pull over, just focus on the heart space. Yeah. Like you can still drive, just focus your breath and focus on the heart space. It's going to be a very simple exercise, but I guarantee you that you're going to feel the difference. And Bais is going to be sharing what it is that he experienced in this moment, right? And for those of you that are sensitive or, you know, have exercised your ability to see energy and to see auras, I'm sure you already saw mine, but you're also going to now see what's going to happen when we work, when we do this exercise with Bais. All right, so wherever you are, if you're driving, just focus on your heart space. If you can pull over, fantastic. Pull over. Get yourself in an upright position. All right, now what I would like you to do is find that sitting bone, right? Find yourself in that sitting bone that allows you to sit upright. You don't even have to try. Like once you find that sitting bone, automatically spine's aligned. Right?
All the times I've heard you say align your spine, this is the first time I ever felt it. The way you saying, like,
Yeah.
nah, you'll find it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
will.
yeah, exactly. Right?
That's a fact.
Yeah, and then once you find it, automatically, like the body adjusts, boom, you're there. Right? Now, what you want to do is just softly close your eyes. If you're driving, don't do this. Don't just follow the energy into the heart. Focus on your heart as you breathe. But if you're parked up somewhere, your couch, wherever you are, that you can close your eyes, close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, start to inhale in through your nose and feel into your heart space. Now, the reason why I say feel into your heart space, I say probably, and this is a statistic that I'm just throwing out of the air from what I'm feeling right now, I say probably 98% of the people in this world have stagnant energy in their heart space. Right? And so, like, let's start off with that. So let's just focus on the heart space. All right, so slowly breathe into your heart. Now, as you're breathing into your heart, don't think about nothing. Don't think about like, oh, I'm going to let off energy. Oh, I'm going to do this. Nothing. Just breathe. Breathe into your heart. And as you exhale, I want you to exhale out of your nose, but at the same time, exhale out of your body, out of your heart. And just try it with your intention. It will happen. Very good. Now, keep the breathing. And now ask yourself, if there is something that I needed to release right now, what would it be? What is the emotion? If I knew what this emotion was, what would it be? That's the emotion. Don't overthink it. Now, with your choice, choose to surrender to this emotion. Whatever this emotion is, allow yourself to feel it now. Very good. Don't think, just surrender. Feel. Very good. Keep feeling, keep letting go, keep surrendering. Good. I know you feel the energy dispersing and moving around, but even let that go. Let that go. And breathe. Now let go of the thought of letting go and just surrender in gratitude. Just be. Now taking a nice, slow, deep inhale to your heart. Feel the open space that you just created. Allow yourself to feel that. Allow yourself to enjoy that. It's okay. You're worthy of feeling good. Feel good. Now let's use the power of your intention, taking a nice deep inhale into your heart. And next time when you release, feel that energy cascading into every cell of your being. Literally giving you a cellular upgrade. one more deep inhale. And as you exhale, feel yourself completely harmonized, balanced, and in the moment. And when you're ready, feel free to open up your eyes. And I'm sure that you've experienced some beautiful stuff right now, but I would like Baith to share what it is that he experienced.
Oddly, not even oddly, breathing through my heart, I felt like I had more breath. It wasn't not labored, because I don't have labored breath, but I felt like it was, I felt like it was more like I could breathe out for days and I could breathe in for days. The other thing, what came up for me was judgment. It was guilt, and then I've been doing work, so the guilt has kind of moved into or crystallized into judgment. Not necessarily of doing or not doing, of just being seen or noticed, and wondering what that is on the other end. Because I'm not me experiencing me necessarily, I'm me experiencing everything outside of me, but experiencing myself from outside of myself is just, this is like the only time where it's like in that space. But then it was like judgment of what and why. And when you said just sit with it, and when I sat with it, I'm like, of why? Of what? Like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not being abrasive. I'm being myself. What is there to judge with being myself? And he was like, and feel the energy cleanse out of you. And I'm like, yeah, I do. I felt like it was, the breath was, it feels like it's going through my heart, right? And then you like, let it go. Feel the space. And it's like, all right. Yeah. So where did the judgment go? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, and now there is no thought. It's just the breath. It's just feeling it in and out.
Yeah.
Invigorating in and out. Like pushing in and out.
Exactly.
It's not.
And you can still, I can feel it. You still feel it.
Yeah.
You still feel the buzz, right? You still feel the.
Cause then it started doing this. Like, at first I'm focusing on the right thing. And then I'm focusing on the thing. Now I'm focusing on the in-between thing. And now what is there to focus on? The breath is enough where the thoughts the noise doesn't creep in, because it's just the breath. It's very hard to concentrate on other things and the breath.
Yeah, especially to me, when you're feeling your breath.
Yeah.
Like when you're feeling it and you can feel like, oh, wow, like, fuck. And you like, wow, and it's like embracing the feel good, right?
Yeah.
Wow, I could breathe like better. Like I didn't even know that I could breathe. Like, oh wow, this feels good. Oh, and the more that you just surrender to it, the more you feel that energy just. And then you went like this, right? And like interestingly enough, that you did that is that we have a toroidal field that comes out of the heart. There's two of them. There's one that comes within the close of the body, and there's one that comes outside of the body, on your arm span. And so this energy, this magnetic field that comes out of the heart, you did it with your hands, like unknowingly. You just like, I just felt like, and that's exactly right. You just change the frequency. You just change the magnetic field around your heart.
Got you.
By letting that shit go.
Got you.
Now that energy's in your field, and that's why you're like, I just felt like, exactly.
like when it's a crowded room, and then you get through the crowd, and then it's just a whole nother room. Yeah. But there's nobody in there. There's no crowd. It's like,
that's a good way to explain it.
Yeah. So question, with the breath, when you say people have stored up energy or breath, or they're not moving the breath around enough, what is detrimental about that? Is it, are we energetically holding on to stuff by not breathing deep enough, by not focusing on getting all of the bad air or old air out? Like, what happens?
I mean, I'm gonna speak from experience. Like I said, like in the beginning, like there's not gonna be textbook shit, but there is shit that I've read and there's things that I've learned. So I'm gonna share off of that too. And so like the body operates a certain way, right? Like, this is a machine. Now, if you're not giving your body the right amount of air, it's because something's wrong. Usually your thoughts create the chemicals that go into your body, right?
Gotcha.
Creates all this shit, the dopamine, the serotonin, the this, the that, all the stuff goes into the body. It's going to be based upon your thoughts. If you're caught up in your head all day and it's stressful stuff, do you think that you're going to breathe that openly throughout the day?
No.
You're not.
Yeah.
Automatically, you start to contract more and more and more. And the more you're in your head, oh, I didn't do this and I got to do that, and the more and more you contract, the more and more you contract. And when you're like, when you're caught up in your thoughts so heavily, they're like, you can't think about nothing else but the shit that you're thinking about, you are physically like this. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're contracted.
Yeah.
Everything, all your muscles, your nerve, your tendons, everything, because you're on overload. Then all you really have to do is just relax. And that's when the surrender part comes in. And you have mentioned the breath. To me, the breath is a tool, right? It's still a thought. You're still thinking about your breath, your breathing. The deeper you go into the breath, you won't even think about breath.
You feel it.
You be like, become all of it.
Yeah.
Right? And like, you can use the breath as a tool to just guide you to get you to that point of relaxation.
Okay.
You know, and you know, I'm again speaking from my experiencing, I'm not projecting on anyone. Sometimes what creeps in is like, oh snap, I'm not breathing. And when you get into that, oh snap, I'm not breathing, you knock yourself off that state.
Yeah.
But it's okay. The main part is, don't judge that. Don't judge like, fuck, I did this and no, it's just like, all good, just keep breathing. And as you keep breathing, what starts to happen, boom, you go back into that state.
Yeah.
And it's just like an exercise, just like an exercise of the muscle. The more you do it, the more you allow yourself to be in that relaxed state.
Yeah.
When you're in that relaxed state, your body does crazy things because you're allowing it to operate at like homeostasis as it's supposed to. You know, you're not giving it all these restrictions.
Yeah.
You're giving it time to what's the word I'm looking for? Equalize itself, right? And then what starts to happen also in your mind, the same thing happens. Like, your mind starts to slow down. And it's like your brain has all these different frequencies. And the more you're thinking and going, the faster they're going. What you want to do is harmonize, slow it down. I say slow down, the left brain starts to talk to the right brain, they start to come together. And things like your creativity goes through the roof. That's why a lot of people, when they smoke, you know what I'm talking about? They start to like calm. They get calm. What happens when they get calm? Their creativity shoots through the roof.
True.
They get creative. They can do things. They can draw. They can color. Because they're calming themselves down and now allowing. You don't need to smoke to get there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you don't give yourself time to relax, to be able to relax yourself and have the mind working in a harmonized way, then your creativity, it's like it's forced. Like, you have to force your creativity.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? And when you're forcing your creativity, like, what the hell is that?
Dirty.
Yeah, it feels dirty, right?
Yeah, it feels dirty. It's like, I'm gonna make this thing a thing.
Yo, for real.
Man,
So it was like, even driving here to the studio to start the recording, like, I was talking to my daughter, and I had made like a syllabus, if you want to call it that, like a structure, and say, okay, we're going to talk about these topics. These are the main topics. Okay, here are the subtopics. And as I was working on it through last week, it felt dirty. It didn't feel right. It felt like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you're doing this based upon what you think it needs, and you're not even thinking. You're using technology to tell you what the hot topics are.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, nah, this ain't it.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, whoever's supposed to watch it will watch it.
Yeah.
And the wisdom and knowledge and the vibration and the voice that's being projected, the energy, this what's coming on, what's happening here, the energy cycling back and forth,
Yeah.
our words coming together, letting out a certain wave of frequency and vibration to the people that are going to listen to this, and how that's going to change their frequency and their energy to where they're in the room.
Yeah.
And now that wave changes that room that they're in and the people that they're in. That's what it's about. It's not about getting the next hot topic that's going to get you the most views.
Yeah.
No, it's about sharing from the heart the shit that you know that has changed your life, that you know you want your brother to know.
Facts.
You want your sister to know.
Facts.
You don't want them to feel the shit that you've been feeling.
Yeah.
Like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like you could, like when you start to dive in and like really start to feel, it's like, it's kind of fucked up that you feel this.
True.
Like it's kind of fucked up that you've been feeling that thing that you've been feeling all this time and you're not even aware where the fuck it came from.
True.
You know, and this is where it comes, you have to recognize the emotions. Like what emotions are you feeling, right? Because for me, anger was like, whoo. And growing up, I didn't even know why I was so angry. I thought it was just reality that had me angry, like my parents and this and that and all, how my upbringing.
Grew up in the hood.
Yeah, all that shit, right?
Yeah.
But as I start to like realize, like the anger was not just my anger.
Yeah.
It's like a collective consciousness anger, like the anger that we've been duped. You know what I'm saying? We've been duped. Like we've literally, like our consciousness, our mind, our energy, everything about us has been hijacked.
Yeah.
All the stuff that we have in our mind and our energy field and everything that we do are things that were done without our consent.
True.
You know, and a lot of people like to talk about, oh, well, this is what you chose based upon your life contract and this. I'm not saying yes or no to any of that. What I'm saying is that right now, at this point in time, in moment, in this creation, in this reality, in this parallel universe that we're living right now, there are people that are feeling what it is that I'm talking. They don't know how to verbalize it.
Yeah.
They don't know how to, like, who to go to.
True.
What is it? Who do I talk to? And then you go on, on YouTube, and you're trying to find stuff. You're finding, vibration videos, or you're finding this person talking on that topic, that doctor, this specialist, this, that, this. And you try it all because you're seeking. But is the shit really helping you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you see like little glimpses of stuff that, yes, oh yeah, I'm in the right direction. And you are in the right direction.
Yeah.
It's not that you're not. But the thing is, like, is it by design
Yeah.
that these bits and pieces are being shared that way for a reason?
Yeah.
Is it a collective consciousness by design, manipulation, that you are getting just enough to keep you going, right? And what I want to share with everyone is when you tap into you, nobody can change that.
That's a fact.
Nobody can tell you what it is that you experience.
Yeah.
When you let, whoo, shoo, when you go in there and you go in and you recognize you, nobody can take that from you.
It's hard to you can't unsee it.
You can't unsee it. And as the more work you start to do and the more you dive deeper, the more you start to embrace that you know to be. And the more that you believe it, starting off how we started this video, the more that you believe it, the more that you know it, as you experience it within, it'll start to project in who you be. It'll start to be that you are. You get what I'm saying?
1000%.
And it takes work. Like there's people that I've actually worked with one-on-one, and they get to a certain point, and they just can't do it. They're like,
stuff come up.
What? They're like, yo, this is too deep for me.
Yeah.
I ain't ready for this shit. And I'm like, it's all love. Like you came to where it is that you gotta come, and this is where going back to where people saying like, oh, well, this is soul contract, is this, is that. It's not. To me, it's like your choice, right? Everything is happening right now through all space and time, through all parallels, whatever it is that you want to call it. It's all you only have now.
Yeah.
So you make your choice.
True.
So the contracts and stuff that you say that, people say that you did or you haven't done or you didn't, I could change that right now by making a choice.
It's a fact.
But there's people that get to a certain point that's it. They're like, you know what? That's it for me, bro. That's it for me.
I'm gonna head out real quick.
Yeah. Things are getting a little funky for me, And I remember us, we've done some recordings in the past. And there's been some like things that have happened that you're like, yo.
1000. I told you, my wife, when I don't have a lot of old relationships. I realized that being a people pleaser, just wanting that love, wanting to be good with everybody, put me in a place where I wasn't really putting me in a place. It was just, all right, buddy, right here, bang. All right, go over here now, bang. And it wasn't until I started to go in, like really see me past what we're told we are. I literally just recorded a video 2 days ago talking about how by the time we're 8, 9, what we think of ourselves, what we know of ourselves is not really, it's not from our perspective. It's, no, that's blue, that's black, that's brown, don't go there, don't do that, you can't be that, you can't do that, nobody has ever done that, that's impossible. And that programming that's where we start. So it's like, as an adult, like facing that, realizing like how a midlife crisis happened. You realize the me who I think I've been this whole time, I'm really not that. I'm either way more than that, or I'm realizing that I'm different than that, or whatever it is. And my wife chimes in all the time. She's like, with Sam, it's just something about when you and Sam connect, it's just different. The energy's different. And for me, it's having a mentor, somebody who lived an experience. When we first met and you like, bro, this happened, and I'm talking to God, and I'm like, what's good? And I'm like, yo, this is a bold dude, and I like it. Feel me? Because the ideology of what we're told to believe is not based on what we believe. It's based on what somebody said they believed, and then we believe that.
Exactly.
As opposed to what you said, you experience it and you know. And I've experienced and I know. I know because this spiritual side of this experience that we live is like, how do you front on that? How do you live an entire life and you never acknowledge that part? It's just what you see and what you could touch. That's it? Nah, what is behind that? Like, what is inside of that? Like how you saying with the energy, the heart, what is inside of that? And how can I use that as like the due north, as opposed to the feelings that I don't want, the reactions that I don't want, like all of the other stuff that don't really serve, you know? It may serve to become more aware, but nah, man, this is...
It all serves.
Something, man.
Yeah, you know, it all serves, but it comes a point where it's like, you know, at least again, from personal experience, like, enough's enough.
Yeah.
Like, I see it. Thank you. Appreciate it. You know, and one thing that I also like to, like, put out there is, like, these things that you did experience, just allow yourself to feel whatever it is that you feel when it comes up.
Yeah.
But then after that, like, release it with appreciation. You know what I'm saying? When you release it with appreciation, and this might sound a little crazy for everybody, but all the present moments and timelines that are happening right now in this very point in time, they shift. And all the things that you did do, that you remember that you did, you have a different perspective from it.
Facts.
But if you allow yourself to stay in anger, to stay in resentment, to be like, why? Like, all that energy stays blocked up just like that.
Yeah.
Right? So now that's a part of you, your field, your reality, everything that you be as a being, not just this person, but as a being, that's it there. You know, so look, when you experience that, let it go and release it. Release it and surrender it with like, and again, this is one of those words that it's like, you can't even explain it, but with love.
Yeah.
You know, like to me, love is hard to explain. You know, but you release it with that sense of appreciation. Like, I see the lesson. You know, and when you start to like see that within yourself, and you start to embody that, like, oh, I see the lesson.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, you start to gain like this different type of relationship with self. And now your conversations, you're having a conversation with self all day, every day.
Facts.
And like when you have that conversation, you have a task to do. Instead of you being caught up in the task to be like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. No, you're actually talking to yourself. You're talking to self, and you're talking to yourself in a way it's like, so what is it we gotta do next? Oh yeah, we gotta go do that. What do you think is the best way of doing that? Well, we could do it like this, and we could do it like that. Instead of you being caught up in whatever it is, that you're having that dialogue with self. And that's when inspiration comes in, right? And you're not doing it like everybody else. You're doing it only the way you would do it.
Yeah.
Because you've taken the time to let go of everything that you have been doing based upon other people's beliefs. And now you are taking your own beliefs. And when you having that open dialogue with yourself, that's a true open dialogue with infinite possibilities that now you can navigate and bring to life something special, instead of you bringing to life what everybody else has put into your mind, into your field, into what it is that you believe your reality is.
You should be a such and such.
Yeah.
You should do a such and such. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I lived a lot of that.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
Man, you good at cooking. You should start a...
Yeah. And the thing is, like, just embrace every moment with love and just like with a way where it's like you doing you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the judgment is not there
At all.
Yeah, it's not there
because
you're doing you. You're doing you to your highest vibration, to what it is that you know to be your truth.
Yeah.
And when you're living in that, you encourage others to do the same. Like you said, when we first met, I was sharing stories that you're like, God damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I it's hard for me to explain how I can sense it, right? But like yo, what the fuck? But at the same time, you're like, damn, like I've experienced shit like this, but I wouldn't tell anybody this shit.
Especially that first day.
Yeah.
With the lights flickering that was insane.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah.
And I think nobody would be like, yeah, I believe that. You had to, like you said, when you experience it and you know the difference, it's like you can't, there's no way to articulate what and how in the moment. Is just like you had to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you really had to be there to be like
experience and sense the energy, the
crazy.
Words that would use, and what was hot, what the fuck is going on? You know?
It's like a straight gym, and then dimness, like the lights dim, like no, that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Insane.
Dim, energy wave, reality shift.
Yeah.
Next nugget came through, dim, energy wave, reality shift. And it's like, you're there like, what am I experiencing? I saw it in your face.
Down there messing with the light. I know they
I saw it in your face. You're like, yo, what the fuck?
Word is born. But that's when I knew. Like I knew being attached, how we connected, that connection was one of those. It was like, man, I was PTSD. I'm coming off of 20-year friendships that weren't really friendships. They were just like energy sucks. Like, man, you're good at this. You're great at that. Hey, be my friend. Don't be nobody else's friend. Let me get all that energy for myself. So I'm looking at everybody with, what you want from me, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what you want from me, bro?
Talking about Willis.
It turned me transactional and not relational. And I missed that part of my personality, that part of how I operate in life. Just currency and money, they're not synonymous in my eyes. Currency is the charge. It's either negative or it's positive. All money ain't good money. So it's either negative or positive. And these relationships started making me second guess me, like my thought, like the openness that I share from my heart. Like legit. I want the best for everybody the same way I want the best for myself. And when we met, it was like I was pushing that energy off and being curious to this new space, this new existence where it's not based on what can you do for me. Not even based on what can I do for you, more so what do it feel like? When we in the room with each other, what do it feel like? When we leave, what do it feel like? And it didn't feel dirty, it didn't feel like a energy suck. It's people that call my phone and I look like, yeah, I'm good. Cause I know I know it's an energy suck. Like immediately. And I didn't have that before. Like I didn't have that awareness to like see it and feel it, as opposed to like see it, notice it, kind of question it, but then nah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not that. So
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate what I've been able to experience just being in the field. You know?
Yeah. That's awesome. That's beautiful, bro. Yeah. You know what came through was, and that's probably gonna be a share for everybody here, is we all go through that. We all go through those realizations and then realizing like, hey, that's not a good relationship.
Yeah.
Right. The important thing is don't close yourself up. Right? Because what starts to happen, like the mind, as a lesson learned, protects you. Guess what goes up? Walls start to go up around your heart. You know, and you can't express yourself how you truly want to express yourself. Yeah. Because you guard it. You know, and then like it's one of those things like mentally know, but Yeah. Like something ain't right. Like I don't feel myself. Yeah. And as the longer you stay in that, the more you start to, I just don't feel myself. Yeah. And then you start to chalk it up what people call you're getting old, like it's the age. Yeah. Or that's why your body looks like this and this. Like you and I, we get compliments all the time about like, yo, you don't look your age, bro. You look good as hell. You know what I'm saying?
I'm 67.
I'm 88, by the way. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? It's because like when you trap your heart like that because you're trying to protect yourself, like the energy is not flowing. You know? And so like letting go of certain relationships, it's okay. Yeah. But you let them go not with restricting, not with creating boundaries, but like love. With love, but just like we surrendered to whatever energy was coming up, the same way. You lean into that shit. Yeah. You don't be like, oh, I gotta let go. No, lean into it. There's something there for you to learn and for that other person to learn. Yeah. You back away, you put walls up around your heart, which is not good for you, and then that person on the other side that could have got that lesson from someone with love is not gonna get that lesson. And it's not up to you how they see it, what perspective they see that you're projecting to them. Yeah. From what it is that you're sharing. Yeah. But you're sharing it from love. So you know that you're sharing it from your highest expression, which is cool. And you share it with love. They take it, they don't. Whatever perspective, whatever energy, whatever reality they're living their life through, whatever lens they're seeing, they're going to take it that way. However, you now planted that seed. Yeah. So that lesson that they would not have learned if you would have kept closed up and keep ignoring them, they wouldn't have learned it. Yeah. So we're all here to serve one another. How we do that is by being our highest expression of ourselves. And as we're dealing with certain things, deal with it inside first. And as you let go and deal with it inside first, then you can now address whatever it is with love. But if you're doing it from here, that's not love. That's strategy. Gotcha. So you're trying to strategize and say, how can I tell this person how that this without them feeling bad? That's strategy. Yeah,
it's already done.
Exactly. You got to go in here, deal with it first. And one of the things that I've dealt with when doing that, when I had to, deal with certain relationship, was grief. The grief of losing someone.
Man, was you talking to my wife? Okay. Because I swear, this last year, it's been that. It's been not looking at it like, how could I be a fool? Because I went through that. Yeah. How could I be a fool? How did I not see it? How was I so unaware? And then it's like, well, how could you be? why was that friendship initiated? How did it start? And then basically reverse engineering back from that. It's not a bad thing that the experience that I had was the experience that I had, because I gained something from it. I gained a different perspective. I gained a different level of awareness that I would not have had I not had these relationships that were what they were and now they're not. So I have no resentment. I have no nothing. It's just like straight love. Like, I don't wish any harm or any malice. I hope that whatever joy that you can get from this life, you can get. And that's all I have, you know? And I was confronted with it the other day. Somebody else was like, yo, person had called me out the blue, just checking on me and asked about you. And immediately I was like, man, I should call this person and check up on them. And it's like, nah, that's guilt. Why do you feel guilty? I feel bad because, why? Nah, you were a great friend. You were a great friend. And I left it at that. I didn't try to Captain Save them like I usually would do, throw the cape on and strategize. Nah, man, it is what it is.
How you let yourself grieve from that?
I'm letting myself grieve.
Well, that's what you want to sit with.
Yeah.
When you get some time, sit with that. Sit with grief. Sit with it.
Yeah.
Like, find wherever it is and just sit with it and allow yourself to grieve. That's one thing that we do as especially as men. We don't allow ourselves to grieve, because since you're little, oh, don't cry. You cry, you little pussy. You're this, you're punk ass. Especially depending on what neighborhood you're in. You're in a rough neighborhood, they're gonna call you. Like, my mom was like, stop crying like a little pussy. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? My mom, not let alone my dad and my uncle. You know what I'm saying? But even my mom. So it's like, you know, like you're not allowed to grieve, right? And so, like, subconsciously, that's what you bring up as an adult. Yeah. Right? You don't even realize that you're suppressing. Because it's just automatic for you.
It's a fact.
Just like your blood in your body works automatically, and you say blink and you blink, like, it's all automatic. Subconsciously, all this stuff is happening, and that's happening. We suppress. And so, like, it's okay for you to grieve a friend. Yeah. Somebody that you opened up and you had a genuine heart connection with.
1000%.
Like, that right there is a grievable moment.
Yeah.
And it's okay for you to sit in your silence and feel that, and allow yourself to feel that grief, and just let it go.
It's a fact.
And as you feel that grief, you're going to feel it. Trust me, you're going to feel it. And you just go through it, whatever it is that you're feeling. Just see it for what it is. Let it go, let it go. And then after that, you will feel nothing but absolute love and bliss. Yeah. But now you're letting it go, and that's not just going to serve you. All those well wishes that are coming out of your mouth and that you have in your thoughts for this person, you're going to allow it actually to come to life, because of the energy that you have restricted upon that relationship that is suppressed. Yeah. Boom, you let it out. And one of the things that I reality, reciprocity, global reciprocity, whatever it is that you want to, however you want to term it, but what starts to happen is that comes right back to you. Like, because it's a genuine thing. Yeah. Like, you really want the best for this person.
1000.
And everything goes in cycles. Yeah. You know, there's relationships that do come to an end. Yeah. You know, just like life, you know, a pet, a loved one, like, their lives come to an end, right? Yeah. And so, like, these cycles happen, and it's about letting yourself grieve and let that energy go. Yeah. When that energy comes off and let loose, we'll have another conversation about that.
I'm gonna let you close out.
Yeah. All right, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you. So I hope that was a very insightful conversation for you, as I'm sure it is, and also that exercise that we did. I would love for you guys to share the video, comment below if you got any questions and anything that you want us to talk about in the future. Add that comment below, because, again, this is me sharing an experience, channeling what needs to come through, but it ultimately is for you and all you guys watching. So until next time, much love. God bless. Love you. Peace.